Hello friends, let us now learn some important points about hormonal agents. So in the hormonal agents, first we have glucocorticoid receptor agonists. So first in the glucocorticoid receptor agonists, first we have dexamethasone and we have prednisolone. See, these dexamethasone and prednisolone are glucocorticoid receptor agonists and they are used in malignant hematological disease. Example, they are used in acute lymphocytic leukemia, Hodgkin's lymphoma and non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. They cause symptom palliation in carcinoma. Examples of these are they can be used in antiemetic also. They can also decrease edema due to spinal cord compression and due to brain metastasis. Then the side effects of this glucocorticoid receptor agonists are these causes Cushingoid symptoms, these causes osteoporosis, mood changes like insomnia, psychosis can occur. These also causes immunosuppression and glucose intolerance can occur due to this glucocorticoid receptor agonists. Then the next important hormonal agent is selective estrogen receptor modulator. This selective estrogen receptor modulator includes, we have in selective estrogen receptor modulator, we have drugs like tamoxifen and torimephen and doloxifene. So this selective estrogen receptor modulator has antagonism on the breast and also agonistic action on the pituitary, liver, uterus and bone. Uses are it is used in ER positive breast cancer and it is also used in advanced and metastatic breast carcinoma. In the liver it decreases LDL. Side effects are it causes hot flushes, nausea, vomiting and it also causes menstrual irregularities. So these also will increase the risk of endometrial carcinoma and they also increase the risk of thromboembolism and they cause cataract as side effect and hepatotoxicity has side effects. Then the next important drug is raloxifene. Raloxifene is actually has two things. One, it has agonistic action on bone and blood coagulation factors, whereas it has antagonistic action on breast, endometrium and blood vessels. So this raloxifene is used in breast carcinoma without increased risk of endometrial carcinoma. It is used in breast carcinoma without an increased risk of endometrial carcinoma because raloxifene has an antagonistic action of endometrium. That means it blocks the endometrium. Whereas if you see tamoxifen, torimephen and daloxifene, these have agonistic action of the endometrium. That means these will increase the risk of endometrial cancer. Then we have selective estrogen receptor down regulator. So in selective estrogen receptor down regulator, we have the drug fulvestrant. Fulvestrant is used in advanced or metastatic HR positive breast carcinoma in postmenopausal women. This fulvestrant is used in advanced or metastatic HR positive breast carcinoma in postmenopausal women. Then it is an aromatase inhibitors like there are aromatase inhibitors also. Testosterone gets converted to estrogen in the presence of aromatase. Now this aromatase will increase the testosterone, decrease the estrogen. We have two things of aromatase inhibitors. Because this aromatase will inhibit the conversion of testosterone to estrogen, obviously there is increased amount of testosterone, decreased amount of estrogen is seen. And we see two classes of aromatase inhibitors which include non-steroidal aromatase inhibitors and we have steroidal aromatase inhibitor. In non-steroidal aromatase inhibitors, it includes drugs like anastrozole and letrozole. Whereas steroidal aromatase inhibitors include exemestane and formestane as the drugs. Exemestane and formastane are the drugs of steroidal aromatase inhibitors. Then if you see the uses of aromatase inhibitors, here the use is ER positive breast cancer resistant to tamoxifen. It is used in ER positive breast carcinoma resistant to tamoxifen. The side effects of this selective estrogen receptor the side effect of this selective estrogen the side effect of this aromatase inhibitor is vaginal dryness, which causes dyspareunia. Aromatase inhibitors causes vaginal dryness leading to dyspareunia. They also decrease the bone mineral density, thus causing osteoporosis. Then we have progesterone receptor agonists. Progesterone receptor agonists include, we have the drug megesterol acetate. This megesterol acetate is used in endometrial carcinoma and appetite stimulant in AIDS, it is also used in carcinoma patients associated with cachexia. Side effect of megesterol acetate is it causes pleural effusion followed by shortness of breath. It causes weight gain and breakthrough bleeding can occur. Then this also megesterol acetate or medroxyprogesterone acetate. These are used in progesterone receptor agonist. Then we have gonadotropin gonadotropin releasing hormone analog. So this causes chemical castration in carcinoma therapy. Here GnRH agonists include leuprolide, goserelin, hysterelin, nafarelin and triptorelin. These include leuprolide, goserelin, hysterelin, nafarelin and triptorelin. So first, leuprolide and goserelin will inhibit the ovarian estrogen plus progesterone. And this leuprolide plus goserelin, both these are used in breast cancer or has an add-on with anti-estrogen. Then the drugs, these drugs leuprolide, goserelin, hysterelin, nafarelin and triptorelin, all these are used in androgen deprivation therapy, and they will decrease the pituitary release of LH and FSH, and also they will decrease the production of testosterone. All these drugs are used in decreased release of decreased pituitary release of LH and FSH. They cause decreased testosterone production, and they are used in androgenic prostatic carcinoma. Side effect of these drugs are this will cause decreased libido, gynecomastia, impotence and tumor flare occurs in gonadotropin releasing hormone analog. Then we have gonadotropin releasing hormone antagonist. In this we have digarelix and cetrorelix. This digarelix and cetrorelix are used as advanced prostatic carcinoma. They are used in advanced prostatic carcinoma. This cetrorelix has high risk of hypersensitivity reaction, and this cetrorelix is not used commonly. Cetrorelix causes high risk hypersensitivity reaction and it is not used commonly. Then we have anti-androgens. Anti-androgenic drugs are of two types. One, we have steroidal anti-androgens and non-steroidal anti-androgens. Non-steroidal anti-androgens include enzalutamide, bicalutamide, flutamide, nilatamide, then we have apatamide, then we have doratamide. So among all these, nilatamide is causes interstitial pneumonitis. Then in steroidal antiandrogens, we have cyproterone acetate. This cyproterone acetate is used in hirsutism, prostatic carcinoma. This cyproterone acetate is used in benign prostatic hyperplasia, and it is also used in precocious puberty. Cyproterone acetate is used in hirsutism, prostate carcinoma, benign prostatic hyperplasia and precocious puberty. This non-steroidal anti-androgens are used in metastatic or castration-resistant prostate carcinoma. Side effect of this cyproterone acetate is it causes sexual dysfunction, gynecomastia, hot flushes, it causes vasomotor symptoms, muscle pain and fatigue are seen in these cyproterone acetate. Then the drug abiraterone causes androgen synthesis inhibitors. So these are the important points about anti-androgens. Then we have 5-alpha reductase inhibitors like finasteride and dutasteride. Finasteride will inhibit type 2 5-alpha reductase and dutasteride will inhibit type 1 and type 2 5-alpha reductase. This dutasteride inhibit the conversion of testosterone to dihydroxytestosterone, and this is used in benign prostatic hyperplasia. The drug of choice for benign prostatic hyperplasia is silodosin. So these are the hormonal agents which are used. Thank you for watching.